Dear God, I am now ready for help in removing from me every single defective character which I realise is an obstacle to my recovery. Help me to continue being honest with myself and guide me towards spiritual and mental health. Amen. It is now with much love and gratitude that the group welcomes Devaldis G to come and share with us. Devaldis, it's over to you. I'll give you like a 5-minute warning. Thank you.
Hey, y'all, Devaldis alcoholic. Grateful to be here. Grateful to be sober. What's up, everybody? What's up? I'm nervous. I'm uncomfortable. I don't want to share, but because I wanted to work out. But if I wasn't here, I'd be working a different muscle. I'd be working my thumb muscle. I'd be lighting something up, right? Like, and I don't have to do that today, man. I'm real grateful to be here. Let me get a quiet time so the God of my understanding can stand up and Devaldis can have a seat in the trunk. God, I thank you for everything you've given me. I thank you for everything you've taken from me. And I thank you for everything you've left me. That will and must be done. Once again, my name is Devaldis and I'm an alcoholic. I have a sponsor. His name is Ralph White. And he guides me. Get a sponsor that speaks louder than your thinking. My sponsor, I can hear him. When we talk, we relate. We chop it up on the phone and he gives me experience, right? He gives me experience. And that's what I love about Ralph. I have a home group, Look at God Big Book Study. We meet up Monday on Zoom, 6 p.m. CST time. I have a God-given abandon date, assignment date of November 28, 2018. And for that, I'm forever grateful. I'm really grateful for that date. And I hold on to that date for dear life because my life depends on it, right? So anybody new, I need to say this, welcome. This thing work if I work it, right? That's a huge 2-letter word, if I work it. Right. So, anybody new? Welcome to our exodus. This is our exodus from the way we used to be to the way we become, to what God wants us to become. Right. And what does that mean? Like it's a mass departure from life we used to live with alcohol and drugs to a new life. So welcome to your new life if you're new. I really don't know where to start. I guess I'll start when coming up as a child. I had a 2-parent home. In that 2-parent home, it was always chaos. It was always drama, right? It was always fussing and fighting, and and that's without alcohol. My parents didn't drink. My dad used to fall asleep with a half a beer by his side, and you know what I'm saying. And I used to pick up that beer and I used to pour it out. Y'all thought I was gonna say I used to drink it. Nah, I ain't started my drinking. My drinking started late in the game, right? Like, and I was too scared. I was too fearful of my dad to even think about a drink, right? At that time, right, coming up, and when I was coming up, I was taught some things. Some dishonesty. My mom used to say, "Answer the door and tell them I'm not here." And I answer the door and say, "My mama said she not here," and she'll tell my ass up. So I ain't know, you know what I'm saying? I was confused as a child, right? Like I was confused and I couldn't differentiate the truth from the false. I didn't know if I should lie or tell the truth. So I picked up on lying. I picked up on dishonesty. These are things that I was taught. Don't tell your dad what I'm doing. My mother used to teach me all these things. And my dad was the drill sergeant. He was the army dude. And he used to say, men don't cry. Crying is for pussies. And I cry and he'll tear me off, right? 50 lashes, pull out the chair. So my mom used to whip me with an extension cord. My dad used to give me 50 lashes, pull out the chair, and he didn't chase me. Right? So coming up, I didn't want that. I didn't want that life, right? So I sought out different areas, right? Like and my dad also used to say, "I don't get mad, I get even." But I used to see this dude mad all the time and angry, and right, like, and I didn't understand what he was meaning, right? Like, but my dad would get even, and he'd be mad at the same time, right? And I was confused, right? Like, make it that make sense, right? So I picked up on the getting even. I'm gonna get you back. I started picking up on these things, and coming up through life, I didn't want to be around my parents, and I veered to outside things, right? I started hanging out with the guys, right? I started hanging out with the guys, and well, first of all, let me talk about I was an AB student. I wasn't the smartest tool in the toolkit, right? Like I wasn't the smartest dude, but I got good grades, right? My parents was pleased. And my first resentment, I'm gonna take it way back. My first resentment was when my dad is always the slow dude, right? Like he always make us late for everything because he take his time. And I was supposed to go audition for Michael Jackson. Yeah, I had the curl. Yep. I had the curl. I had the zippers. I had the red jacket, right? And I had the moves, right? Like, and my dad made me late, right? Like, and my parents argued all the way home. My first resentment because I really wanted to stand out. I really wanted to audition for that thing. And I was late and I didn't get the opportunity, right? Like, and that drove me to a place of not liking my dad. Why you always got to show up this way? Why you always got to take your time? And I question it, right? Like, and I never question him though, because like I said, he'll tell me off, and I wasn't about to, I was in fear for a long time with my dad. I didn't ask him any questions. What goes on in this house stays in this house. Do what I say, not don't do what I do, right? Like, and I see my dad be mad and angry, and I got some taught experience. I learned these things. I got some learned experience through my dad, through my mom, right? Like, I learned these things and I took them with me. I took them over the road, right? I took these things over the road, and I'm describing this because this is the beginning of my ism. Right? I learned these isms way before I took a drink. Right? I picked up on them and I practiced them. Right? I practice all these things, this dishonesty, this anger. Every time I get mad, right? Every time I'm in fear, I get mad and I tear something up. It ain't got to be a physical tear up. I'm talking about with my mouth. Right? With how I show up. My behaviors showed up before I even got there, right? They was already there, right? And I lived in that, right? Like, and when I became of age, I went to high school, graduated high school, first one of my mom's kids my parents' kids that graduated high school on time, right? I graduated on time. So I was the chosen child, so to speak, right? And I gravitated to the street life. I was looking, I was searching, right? Like, and before I got to that street life in 1994, my best friend got hit by a semi truck, right? Killed, engine sitting on his lap, changed the trajectory of my life. We was in school for auto mechanics. We had a future mind. We was trying to go somewhere. We had a vision, and that was snatched away from me. Right? So I was lost. And my mother, years down the line, she said, Devaldis changed when Gerard died. I needed help then. But I started seeking out other things, right? And then I found her. My first addiction was attention, right? My first addiction was attention. I needed attention. I tried to show up the way everybody else wanted me to show up. And that's how I showed up in life. And I'm trying to please everybody, right? And I ain't even pleasing myself. And I make a fool of myself. And now I'm embarrassed. And now I run away. That's my pattern. Right? And then I found her, and she gave me the attention that I need, right? My first girlfriend, she liked me. She was in love with me. And from the first moment, I'm talking about, from love at first sight, right? Like, I'm in that relationship, and in that relationship, it was drama. It was chaos. I brought me with me. Right? This is all before alcohol, right? This is all before, I didn't take my first drink until 19. Right? But I found out she was cheating on me with my best friend. Now I got trust issues. I don't trust nobody, right? Like, and she was lying to me, so I picked up on some more lying skills. So I started cheating, and I started manipulating, and I started being what I was experiencing. And I didn't even know I was picking up on these things, right? Like I ain't found all this stuff out until I came to y'all. I ain't found all this stuff out, right? And when and so now I'm a cheater, I'm a liar, I'm a manipulator, I'm all these things, right? I'm all these things that I ain't supposed to be, but I don't think I'm supposed to be. And that changed. Everything changed in the twinkling of an eye, right? So I started hanging with the guys. I'm an on the block dude. I'm starting to hang with the guys, and I started drinking with the guys, right? And I pass out and I wake up, and I'm talking about this is a vicious cycle for me, right? Every time I took a drink, I passed out. And I wake up. I ain't no bar drinker. I ain't in the club dude. I'm on the block, in the car, on the porch, smoking, drinking, pass out, throw up, wake up, get up, and I do it all over again. And I'm chasing that feeling. Right? That's who I am. Right? I'm on the block with the pistol. I'm that dude. Right? I'm setting up shop on the block. I'm selling drugs. Right? I'm a drug seller. And you better not. They used to call me Jeezy. I'm Jeezy in the hood. Right? I'm a hood dude. Right? Vel G, don't mess with Vel G. That dude crazy. That dude got anger issues, right? Like, and if it's any type of drama, they coming to get me. Right? And I said, and I'm showing up. I'm showing up for the guys, right? And I'm showing up for the guys, and things started to happen, and I'm selling drugs, and I get stuck up, right, on the block. I'm talking about broad daylight. 3 dudes come out with pistols, one shotgun to the back of the head, lay down. I'm going to blow your brains out. That's where I'm from. Lived it. Been there. Selling drugs all over Madison, Wisconsin, Indiana, Hammond, Indiana. I'm selling drugs. I'm transporting. That's how I come up. So I gotta be manipulative. I gotta be dishonest. Right? That's the life I live. That's the lifestyle that I live each and every day of my life. And then I get caught. Thank God that dude didn't broke my brains out. You wouldn't have a different speaker today. Grace and mercy was there all the way back then, but I couldn't see it. The grace of God's been on me this whole time, and I just couldn't see it. So I get caught, right? Like, I get caught, go to prison, do 3 years in prison. In prison, I got that thing. I got that thing, right? And in prison, they make me a kitchen worker, right? This is the first time I went to prison. They make me a kitchen worker, and in the kitchen, I got the sugar, I got the bread, and I got the fruit. Right? If you don't know what that is, hooch. I set up shop in prison, right? Like I set up shop, I make the hooch, right? And it was December. I remember the date, December 23rd. Somebody told on me, and they found and guess what we made the hooch in? Laundry detergent bottles, right? Like I'm making hooch and laundry detergent bottles, and we ready to turn up, and I get caught. I get 100 days in a hole. It's solitary confinement, right? All by myself. It's me and a concrete slab. Small window getting fed through the chuck, right? Like, so I'm mad at the world. I started getting these resentments that I don't even, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, why y'all only blame me? It was a whole host of us. They only got me. So I'm resentful. So I get out of the hole. I do 90 days because the hole got too big. I mean, too crowded, and they let me out early. Then they moved me. I went from Wisconsin. They had a contract with other prisons, and they shipped me to Mason, Tennessee. Right? In Mason, Tennessee, oh my God. So when I first came in prison, I was scared. I was scared. I was scared. I was fearful. I'm asking questions. Then the dude was like, look, dog, stop asking them questions. They're going to take advantage of you if you ask them questions. Stop asking questions. Just let it play out. Don't ask no questions. And I took that. I took what he said, and I stopped asking the question, and things started to happen. And then they shipped me to Mason, Tennessee, and I went to feds up there, and they talking country. Hey, 204, you got that new paper? right? They talking like that, right? Like they country as ever, right? But I fit in. I plugged in with them, right? Like because I'm that dude. I got it, right? Like I'm hood. I talk the language. I fit the shoes that they fit, right? And I'm a ball player. I'm a ball player. I play ball. I play basketball. I'm cold on the court. You know what I'm saying? And I ran into this dude. I ain't got to say his name, his color or nothing. I ran into this dude. He had a mule. A mule is, for those that don't know, now, a mule is somebody who brings illegal substances from the outside into the prison. He had a mule and he used to pay me to play ball with him because he used to gamble. Right? He used to gamble. Well, not money. He used to pay me in joints. Like a joint is a rolled up marijuana and a piece of paper. Let me break that down too for those who don't know, right? Like I've just said, like I gotta keep this stuff real simple, real plain, right? Like he used to pay me in joints. So in the joint, I'm still getting loaded. I'm still getting loaded in the joint, right? I'm smoking every day. My room was the spot. I turned my spot in. I turned my room into the meetup spot. Everybody coming up in there. We smoking, guards walking around. They don't care because they know who I'm plugged with. They know this dude. This dude got money. This dude plugged. He plugged on the outside and he plugged on the inside. And he my right hand man, right? So when I get to that prison, right, like and this is the second time I went to prison. I forgot to tell y'all about the first time I went to prison. I got a sponsor in prison. I ain't talking about Alcohol Anonymous sponsor. I got a sponsor. He told me what to do, right? He told me what to do. You sold drugs wrong, little dog. He said, this is how you do it. He gave me a strategic plan. He gave me some suggestions. I took the suggestions and guess what I got? I got what he got. I got 3 more years in prison. So if you want what we have to offer it, I'm willing to go to any length to get, like I got 3 more years in prison because I took his suggestions. All suggestions are free. They only cost when I don't take them. I started taking these suggestions from people and y'all tell me, I come around here and y'all tell me to take some suggestions. I don't want to take suggestions to save my life, but I take some suggestions to kill my damn self. Make that make sense, y'all. Make that make sense. So anything that fit my narrative, I took it. I took it to heart and I acted out on it, right? I acted out on these things, right? So I get to the prison and my first treatment was in prison, right? Like I go to treatment and I ain't go to treatment because I had a problem. I ain't having no damn problem, right? Y'all got the problem. I went in there for a time cut. Right? They asked me, did I have a problem? And I said, yeah, but I didn't really mean it. They said, because somebody told me, if you take this program, you're going to get some time shaved off. So I go up in there and I go to treatment and I'm acting a fool and I'm getting high in treatment and I ran into a solution called nutmeg and put it in the microwave and you stay high for 3 days. And I drank that and I was high for 3 years. I thought I wasn't going to never come out. I never do that again. I just want to let y'all know I'm an addict, but not that much of an addict. I ain't like the feeling. I ain't like the way how long I was high. I woke up, I went to sleep high. I woke up high. I ain't like it. Right. I ain't like that type of feeling. Right. I want to come down off of high. Right. Like, so I get out of prison and I started using crack cocaine. Right. I'm always looking for something on the outside to fix me. I'm always looking for another solution. I'm always looking for a instant gratification. I'm always looking for a to the head solution, right? That's what I look for. I want it right now. I need it right now. And crack cocaine did it for me. It gave me what I needed. It did for me what the steps do for me. It relieved me of the bondage itself. So I started using and I started making my way to the treatment facilities, right? Guess what, y'all? I'm an inner outer. I'm a figure outer. I know better than y'all, right? Like I come in the rooms and I come into treatment facility and I'm angry, I'm egotistical, I'm mad at the world. You can't tell me nothing. Right? Because I already know. I know everything. You can't fit. I got a closed mind to a solution. I'm not honest, right? I ain't like y'all. I compare myself out the room. This is what I live over and over and over again until this time coming around. I got surrendered. Right? I got surrendered. I didn't surrender on my own. That didn't happen by me. I'm humbled by the terrific beating administered by alcohol. It beat me to a state of surrender. It beat me to a state of willingness. It beat me to a state of, I don't want no more. I'm going to do what y'all do, right? I got surrendered. Step one experience. That was my step one experience when I got surrendered. I came up in here, tail tucked. I didn't want to come back. Guilt, shame, and remorse kept me out there. I remember a time when I was sober. 16 months. I'm making $40 an hour, right? Like, and I got a bright idea, right? Not a cloud on the horizon, right? And not one. Matter of fact, it was a bright ass sunny day. I get off work. They didn't bring my check to work. I got a bright idea. I'm mad at the world. Now, a few words with my boss, no big deal. Right? Like, you ain't bring my check. I'm going to go out there and get it. I went out there to get it. Something came over me because I was making meetings. I was making meetings. And I was just making meetings. Right? I ain't have a sufficient substitute, y'all. I ain't had nothing to combat what I suffer from. Right? And every time I came around the rooms, I got a sponsor by name. I wanted the oohs and ahs and the pats on the back and the profoundness that when I share, I'm going to talk about God. I've been talking about God for a long time. I ain't even got a God problem. I ain't got a relationship problem. I got a connection problem. That's my problem. When I deny myself, that's when recovery starts. When I start saying no to the Devaldis and what he wants and what he needs, because I don't even know what I need, right? So I get to the treatment facility this time, willing as the die can be, right? I'm willing to go to any length. I'm willing to do what y'all say. So I get a sponsor, not by name. My first sponsor says, instead of telling God how big your problems, I tell your problems how big your God is. But it was this one dude. You old heads. I love you old heads. I love you old members that pour into me because y'all give me what I need before I even really know what I need, right? And he used to say he used to walk up to me every time he saw me. He used to say, get honest, get honest, get honest, get honest. I'd be like, get out my face, man. What you know? How you know I'm lying? He said, cause you're moving your mouth, right? Like all the other times that I came around here, I didn't want what y'all had. But this time, somebody asked me, you don't want what we got. Do you want what you got? Damn, hit me like a ton of bricks. I don't want what I got. I didn't want what I had. My life was miserable. I was horrible. I was a horrible father. I was a horrible son. I couldn't show up, right? I was defeated, right? My life was burnt to the ground, unmanageable, without a drink. Right? This time I admitted complete defeat. Step one, right? I admit complete defeat. I don't want no more. I did everything that y'all wanted me to do, right? I started showing up at meetings early. I started leaving late, right? And I started stacking chairs and I started making the coffee and I started becoming a part of instead of a part from. I didn't separate myself this time. Something happened this time. I know it's grace. I know it's grace. Grace always been there. It's always been showing up, but it's been blocked by outside interests. It's been blocked by pomp. It's been blocked by my worship of other things. It's been blocked by her. It's been blocked by this and that, right? Like it's been blocked by a whole bunch of things. And this time I said, I'm all in. Damn, I remember that day. And I get this boss and we going through the work, right? And he tell me, man, you need a power other than you. And he telling me it can't be you. And he telling me it's a power greater than yourself. And you got to get a God of your understanding. And I came in here with a God of my misunderstanding, y'all. Right? I had an if, when, and then God. If you do this, then when you do this, then I'll be obedient. But I still was obedient. I still can be today. Even with a program. I'm hard-headed. I'm stiff-necked. My mother used to tell me that a long time ago. Matter of fact, my mother used to tell me, boy, something wrong with your ass. You need Jesus. She gave me the solution a long time ago, right? And I couldn't hear it. I can't hear what I'm ready to hear until I'm ready to hear it. When I was ready to hear it, I heard it. Get a power greater than yourself, right? So I came all the way in and I came to. And I came to believe. That's something other than me, something other than her, something other than the big book. Let me keep it plain, y'all. That big book don't keep me sober. That big book don't get me sober. It leads me to the power that keeps me sober. God got me sober. God keeps me sober. Check that out, y'all. Huh? So we start going through this work, and in step 3, I start this relationship with the power. I start the relationship with the power, right? And in that relationship, I make a decision to turn my will and my life, my thinking and my actions, everything I want. I start to turn it over, but I want to hold back. I want to hold something to myself. I want to give up everything because I don't know what it's gonna look like. I don't know what it's gonna look like. Sound like step 7 already, right? We ain't in step 7. We ain't in step 7 yet, right? I got to get down to some causes and conditions. I got to get armed with the facts about myself, right? I got to do this writing, and I got to look at this stuff from an entirely different angle, right? I got to get these resentment down. I got to get these fears down. I got to look at this my sex immorality, because I wasn't moral when I was out there. I ain't had no moral sex. I was taking advantage. I was manipulative. I was dishonest. That's how I showed up. That's all I knew. And I showed up the best way I could. Right? So I put this stuff on paper. I don't want to put this stuff on paper. I don't want to leave a paper trail. Right? I'm from the hood, y'all. I told y'all I'm a hood. I'm a pistol toter. Right? I told y'all that's how I get down. Right? Like I told you, I don't want to tell on myself. Step 5, I got to tell on myself. Snitches get stitches where I'm from. I don't need no damn help. I don't want to ask for the help. And furthermore, I don't even want to accept the help when it's offered. Y'all offer me help over and over and over again. And I denied the fact that I wasn't in a state of denial. I was in a state of refusal. I refused to do what y'all did. I refused to go to any length. I refused to put this stuff on paper. I refused to admit to myself in the mirror, to God on my knees. Why do I need to bring somebody else up in this thing? I'm going to keep it to myself. But this starts the process. So this starts the process of humility. When I admit it to somebody else. Check this out, y'all. Humility is knowing your place. Humiliation is having to be put in your place. I got put in my place a long damn time by being humiliated, by taking another drink, doing that over and over again, thinking I know better than y'all. Matter of fact, when I'm in the way, look, check this out. I'm gonna lay something out for y'all. Look, when I'm in the way, that actually telling God, you ain't being God right. Huh? You don't know how to be God. When I'm in the way, when I'm in control, when I'm in self-will, you ain't being God right. I got it from here. I know better than you, God. I know better than you. And that led me to a bottle. That led me to some chaos. That led me to some cuffs. That led me to jail, institutions, and death. But then I got honest. I remember, dude, get honest. And I put the stuff on paper, and then I did a 5th step, and I admitted to this dude, right? And guess what he gave me? He gave me the keys to the kingdom. Step 6 and 7. He told me what was wrong with me. He identified with me. He said, y'all know Alcoholics Anonymous, this is the only place I know that everybody, when you do a 5th step, all your sponsors one up you. Hey, they got a story better than yours. You think that's something? Check this out, right? Like that's how the program works, right? It's attraction rather than promotion. I try to make this thing look attractive. I'm excited about recovery as well. If it was my day 1, and I'm still excited about recovery, this thing works, and I'm living evidence. So I get to step 6, and before I get to step 6, I got to go to the crib and sit down for an hour and answer these questions, right? And these questions, did I do everything that they imposed, or they insisted, or they wanted me to do? And I'm gonna read it to y'all like, have I admitted anything? Have I left anything out? Damn, it was that time. No, I didn't. I omitted something. So I had to go back to my sponsor, right? And I had to get free. I wanted to get free. I didn't want to take another drink or a drug. So I got honest. I got brutally honest. I got butt naked honest. I got radical honest, right? I got honest. And I told him everything. The things that I didn't want to tell nobody, the things that I wanted to take to my grave, and I was going to die with this. And I told him, my brother used to touch on me and I didn't tell nobody. This is why I show up the way I show up, right? My brother used to touch on me and he told me don't tell nobody, right? And I don't want to admit this stuff, right? Because, and that led me to a place of, I got to prove to the world, in my mind, I got to prove to the world that I'm not a homosexual. Right? I don't got nothing against homosexual. I just didn't want to be one, right? And I need to take over the world, Pinky, and the brain. I got to take over the world, right? With my sexual immortality. And that's why I showed up the way I showed up, and I can still do it today. Check that out. So, this thing about 6 and 7, right? Let's get into why we here, right? Why we here, right? So 6 and 7, we were entirely ready to have God remove these things that's standing in the way, that's given, I've been being prepared to be ready in the first 5 steps. Right? I've been prepared to be willing in the first 5 steps. I've been being prepared to be ready to go to any length to get this thing. So it started at step 1. What do you mean worrying? What is worrying? What is worrying? That's willingness. Am I willing to be willing? And I want to hold on to some things and I don't want to let go of some stuff again, right? So I start saying this prayer, God, help me be willing to let you help me. More so, God, help me be willing to allow you to help me be willing to be willing. I need God's help. I can't do it without God. Right? So I started inviting God in. Right? And I didn't even know I was doing it. So from step 3 to step 7 is 9 prayers. That's what we saying amen to. It's 9 prayers that I'm saying amen to between step 3 and step 7. And with that willingness brings about, when I become willing, the change has already happened. Right? The change has already happened because I'm unwilling to do something to save my life for a long time. And I start becoming willing. With that willingness, man, God, it's brought me a long way. Anybody new? Stay willing. Stay willing. It's the willingness that brings about the change, right? And when I'm in something, when I'm doing something, it's the conviction that brings about the transformation. God my character defects reposition me. It takes me out of alignment with the power. When I show up, every time I show up in my will and my selfishness and my ways and what I want and my ideas and everything I think I know, thank God it didn't end up in a drink. Thank God for effective sponsorship. Thank God for my spiritual advisor, Vernon, that talks to me and tells me I was just like that. My sponsor, I did that too, right? Like I'm grateful for that. I did that too, right? Because I thought I was all alone in this thing. I thought the stuff that I was doing, the way I showed up, I thought I was by myself. I thought I was all about this is a song, y'all. Hey, I thought I was all about myself in this thing, right? But we all just alike. We all got some things. All of us got character defects, right? Everybody, because we suffer from the human condition. That's what I got, the human condition. You can call them character defects. You can call them shortcomings. You can call them sins. Whatever you want to call them. It's the flesh. It's self. I'm in the way. This is the process of, if I'm unwilling, I remain unfree. This is the process of undevaldis. I got to get rid of me. I get undevaldis around here, right? And when I become undevaldis, it gives room, it gives grace, opportunity to show up the way it should show up without me blocking it. I block grace. God keep on showing up. Grace keep on happening, but I block it by my wants, by my will. Old ideas crop up. What does that look like? Doing the same thing, expecting different results. What about when I know the results and doing it over and over again? In step 3, it said, it is only by affirmative action that we can cut away the self-will, which always blocks the entry of God into our lives. Self-will. I got to get rid of this self. I must, or it kills me, and I can't do it without his aid. I need God's help. I got an awesome God. I got an amazing God. Look, I'm spiritual, and guess what? I'm religious. I'm religious as fuck, y'all. I'm just gonna let y'all know that. Right? My God, the God that I said, my man might be saying, man, I got a God that I ain't gonna name my higher power, but I'm gonna name my higher power. His name Jesus. He had 12 sponsees, and they followed him everywhere he went. One was a cheat, one was a liar, one was angry, one cut somebody's ear off. Right? Like, that's my higher power. That's who I serve. Hey, y'all, check this out. We want to read the big book. I'm real religious, right? Be quick to see where religious people are right. Make use of what they have to offer. Right? I got a God that fights my battles. These weapons that form against me, they ain't going to prosper because God is in control. I live in that. Right? I live in 6 and 6 and 7 but it's my least favorite step is step 6 because I got to get rid of me. I got to die to self. I got to let go of. I got to get rid of my thoughts. Well, I don't want to get rid of them because I've been holding on too long to it in their minds. I don't want to get rid of my will. It's screaming, it's kicking and screaming to go, and I don't want to go, right? I wonder why I'm showing up the way I'm showing up, and I keep doing the same thing that I keep on doing because I want my own damn way. I want things to go my way, right? Arissa B always says, why don't you try not having a way? Wow, blew me away when she said that. Stop trying to have a way and let God have his way. Right? I'm acting out, and God can't bring me out because I'm acting out. God can't take me up because I'm acting up. How am I acting up? Selfish, self-centered, resentment, dishonesty, and fear. And fear drives me. Self-centered fear drives me to do things, right? I get into a relationship, I get into a relationship, it turns into a sex ship, then it turns into a battleship, and then it ends up a sinking ship. That's how I show up in relationships, y'all. Right? Without God. So I tell my story in a general way, what I used to be like without God, what happened, God, and what I'm like today with God. That's what we're talking about right here. Getting the right relationship with the power, right? Getting the right relationship with allowing God to be God, getting out of his way. And in step 7, God, I'm willing. So I find that for me, I start the relationship. I get to know God in 3, 4, 5, right? In step 6, for me, it's the engagement. The willing to get rid of, the willing to let go of, the willing to be to get free. In step 7, I get married. So steps 1 through 7, I've been writing the story. After step 7, God starts writing the damn story. Let God write the story. God, I'm now willing that my creator, I'm now willing that you should have all of me, good and bad. I want to hold on to the bad, right? I want to hold on to the good, but I don't even know what's good. I don't know what's good for me. What I thought was good for me damn near killed me, y'all. So God, take all of me, good and bad. Anything that stands in the way of me and you and me and God. I'm talking about you on this screen. Anything that stands in the way between me and you, because I get in the way. My sponsor always say, it's too much me in between me and y'all. It's too much me in between me and God. This is a process of unbecoming. This is a process of undeveloped. This is a process of subtraction. Use the minus sign. But I find that when I use the minus sign, I don't get added to. I get multiplied with. God multiplies me. God does something in and through me as a result of taking all of me. I don't know what that looks like. I don't want to give up everything because I don't know what I'm going to become. What am I going to become without these character defects, these things that led me and these things that kept me safe in my mind? But I find that in step 3 that in God's care, I'm safe and protected. I'm safe and protected. Why not give it to him? Why not let God be God? I get a renewed mind. I get a renewed thinking, right? I renew me into my spirit, man. And it don't happen overnight. This ain't no overnight matter. 6 and 7 is a continue. 1, 10, 6 and 7. I'm powerless. Step 10, I recognize, I continue to watch. I watch for it when they crop up. I go back to 6. I become willing for God to remove it. I become ready for God to remove it. And step 7, I ask him to remove it. I can't fix me. I can't do it on my own. This is not Home Depot. Do it yourself. I can't do this myself. I need God's help. I need a power greater than me, whom I choose to call God, who leads me and guides me and shapes me and molds me into what he wants me to be. What does my life look like today, y'all? I don't know. I'm all over the place, but I'm right here. Right? I'm right here with y'all. I'm safe with y'all. I got a connection with y'all. I'm in my groove when I'm with y'all. Like I'm super connected because I gave God his rightful place. I got out the driver's seat, hopped in the trunk, and let God drive and lead and drive my life because he knows where he going. He knows where he wants me to go. He knows where he wants to take me. Take all of me good and bad. I don't need to see where I'm going. I just need to show up. I continue to show up for Alcoholics Anonymous. I continue to show up. That's all I got to do is show up and be willing, participate, cooperate, and collaborate. I collaborate with this power, right? In and of myself, I will self-destruct. I can't do it alone. God, whatever you're doing in this season, please don't do it without me. It's purpose. It's a purpose for me to have. It's a purpose in my bondage. Check that out, y'all. It's a purpose in the prison that I place myself in the bondage of self. It's a purpose to get me closer to my creator. I don't know what that's going to look like. It's a purpose, right? Everything God gives to me is intentional. I got you. Everything, God, have your way. Have your way. I surrender everything. I surrender all, withholding nothing. Take all of me. And guess what, y'all? God ain't gonna remove them all at once. God removes these character. I can't keep on. Look. This is my character. Everybody got character defects. Check this out, y'all. I'm gonna give y'all a different perspective. If you haven't heard, everybody got character defects. They become shortcomings when I act out on them. I don't know about the different wording, and Bill didn't want to use the same. Everybody up in here falls short. Everybody got some shortcomings. But when I act out on them, that's when they block me. That's where the blockage comes in at, right? God keeps me with a limp. I'm going to keep walking with this limp. I'm going to keep walking with these character defects, and God removes them as he sees fit. I don't remove them, y'all. I need to say this. God a la cartes the removal. God a la cartes the removal of these character defects. I think I want to pray on what God wants God to remove. Ain't that playing God? Ain't that playing God? If I'm telling God what I want you to remove, no, take all of me, good and bad. God takes them away as he sees fit, as they causing harm in other people's lives and y'all life. And that's this process, y'all. This is not an overnight matter, y'all. 6 and 7, and Donnell said this is not an event, right? 6 and 7 ain't a one night stand. I love one night stands, y'all. I ain't blaming on my head, not my heart. Hey, man, look, check this out, y'all. This is not a one-night stand. This is a repeated. This is an experience. I got to experience everything, and I can't experience my experience until I experience my experience living in my character defect. I don't know the benefits of my character defect, but they're beneficial. They're beneficial in this walk with my creator. We want to push it. We want to push them away and make it. Man, look, I ain't perfect in this thing. I fall down over and over again. I don't get it the first time. I might not get it the second. Ask my sponsor, he here. I'm hard-headed. I don't get it until I get it, until I surrender all. In God do I live, move, and have my being. In him, God has the outcome. I don't provide the outcome. Hey, look, y'all, I'm going to say this and I'm going to close, man. I'm going to ask you a question, a step 2 question, which refers to the step 6 question. What makes me think this is too hard for God? God's hand is not shortened that it won't remove these things that's standing in the way, that's blocking me. God's hand is not shortened. And guess what? I can't slap box with God. Right? I can't slap. I want to fight with God and I want to argue with God and wait, Jay, check this out. God don't care. He gonna let me have my way until I surrender. These character defects surrender me. I'm humbled by the terrific beating administered by my character defects. They beat me to a state of surrender. They beat me to God. Right? I can have a spiritual awakening as a result of these character defects too. Right? Right? Yeah. I'm just saying, this is my take. I ain't AA. I ain't the end all be all. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to hear what I'm saying, but this is my walk with God. These character defects transform me. I transform her more than bestiality. Right? I become more than bestiality. I came in here with a diamond in the dirt, y'all. I came in here a diamond in the damn dirt. Y'all, God clean me up, wash me up, and send me back to y'all. God, y'all send me to God. God send me back to y'all. And guess what, y'all? I get to shine bright like a diamond. So shine bright. Get your shine on. It's worth it. This program works. I'm living proof. I'm evident that the program of Alcoholics Anonymous is a well-oiled machine. It works. The program of Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. And God is real. I'm a trusted servant. My name is Devaldis Abdul Garf. Devaldis means God's blessing or God's gift. Abdul means trusted servant of the Most High. Garf means keeper of the garden. I got to keep this garden, keep giving this gift away, right? And continue to be a trusted servant of the Most High. I'm a grateful alcoholic, and I act like it some days when God is involved. When I involve God in my life, I'm okay. With that, I'm going to stick and say I love each and every one of y'all.
Thank you, Devaldis. Thank you for your share. You were heard. Appreciate you and grateful that you're here. Can we all just take a moment, please? My Creator, I'm now willing that you should have all of me, good and bad. I pray that you will remove from me every single defect of character which stands in the way of my usefulness to you and my fellows. Grant me the strength as I go out here to do your bidding. Amen. And I'd now like to hand back to Devaldis to take us out with a prayer or a reading of your choice, please. Thank you again for your service. Amazing.
Thank you, Katie. And I forgot to thank Purdy for asking me to come out. Thank you, Purdy. I appreciate you. I love what your walk. I love everything you're doing, Purdy, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. You inspire me. Let me get a quiet time for the sick and suffering alcoholic inside. I like to let that sit right there because I suffered for a long time inside and outside these rooms. Followed by a different seven-step prayer. God, I am now willing to let down the barriers between me and the rest of the world. Please remove all my defects and help me become my best self. I'm ready to go out and do your work without the swords and shields I thought I needed. Let me be your ambassador, your light, and your child. Amen, amen, and amen. Thank you for allowing me to be of service. Love each and every one of y'all.